Bye, everybody.
Developing right now at 5, a massive tornado sweeps through Colorado, causing extensive damage.
Hospital sex crime. An employee is accused of taking advantage of a patient while the patient was under anesthesia.
Now what? The school board did nothing about its budget problem. What leaders are saying today will likely upset you.
Also, your money up in flames. Grilling this summer will cost you more unless you see the savings consumer investigator Al Sunshine found.
Plus, Ted Kennedy's first comment since his cancer crisis. Thank you for joining us. I'm Shannon Horry.
And I'm Antonio Mora. CBS 4 News at 5 starts right now.
From Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys, this is South Florida's CBS 4 News.
Developing right now at 5. Take a look at this video. This is a tornado that swept through northern Colorado just a few hours ago. That tornado is one of 2 that touched down.
Already we're getting reports of a death, injuries, and a lot of damage. We kick off our team coverage of CBS 4's Erica Von Teal. Erica, very scary pictures.
Oh, it really is. Well, what would you do if you saw this coming towards you? Hundreds of people in Colorado had to make that snap-second decision when this tornado touched down about 50 miles north of Denver. One person is already reported dead as a result. Fist-sized hail shot down from the sky, making the roads even more dangerous and just adding to the damage. And speaking of damage, just look at it. Trucks overturned on the highway, trains propelled right off the tracks, and homes, countless houses with the roofs ripped right off, walls torn down. What used to be the walls scattered across the lawn. Now, just hours after the tornado hit, some people returned to their house to see just how bad the damage was. Others were still checking to see if the rest of their family was okay. One mother just picked up her children from their daycare center.
I just told them how much I loved them, and you never expect anything like this. I deal with emergency crisis at work, not constantly, but a lot, and I prepare them for this type of situation, and I found myself unprepared today.
Now, a tornado warning has been issued for an area about 100 miles north of Denver, but there have been no reported sightings of a tornado. Hopefully, there won't be any. Erica Von Teal, CBS 4 News.
Frightening to look at those pictures. Thank you, Erica. And we turn now to CBS 4 Chief Meteorologist David Bernard. David, this twister looked massive. How unusual is that?
Indeed, Antonio, this is a massive tornado. And again, tornadoes not uncommon for northern and eastern Colorado. But to see something this large on the ground, this is fewer than 5% of all tornadoes. And what you're looking at, look at the hail just flying in toward that storm. Basically, we have what's called a mesocyclone, and from that, a tornado can oftentimes form. Well, in this case, the entire spinning, rotating portion of the storm is just literally sitting down on the ground, and kind of visual observation from this video indicates that this tornado was probably at least a half-mile wide. It may have even been larger than that. We don't know how strong it was yet because that's based on the damage assessments that'll come in the next day or two, but obviously a major tornado and a rare one at that. The perfect setup today in Colorado for it. Low pressure, cool air coming in from the west, hot, dry air from the south and west, and warm, humid air from the Gulf of Mexico, and that's right where that tornado occurred. We call that a triple point, where all 3 of these come together near the low pressure center, and a lot more tornadoes are on the way tonight for Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Colorado. We have weather developing right now. I want to show that to you on real-time Doppler 4. Strong storms now developing south of Weston and also near Pembroke Pines, and additional strong storms are now developing near Coral Springs. Again, these are all moving from the southwest to the northeast. There's a closer look, an additional shower developing near Plantation. We're going to watch Broward County. It looks like it's going to be quite stormy in the next half hour, and I'll have more on that in the Memorial Day holiday in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, David. We've posted the unedited video of the Colorado tornado online. You can see all of the video at cbs4.com. It's in the video player on the right side.
It is one of the places you're supposed to feel safest, the hospital. Tonight, police say an employee broke one patient's trust when he performed oral sex on him. That patient was under anesthesia at the time. As CBS 4's Peter Dent reports, the victim has hired an attorney.
Under anesthesia, people can obviously take advantage of you when you're under anesthesia, and that's a horrible thing.
Attorney Jeremy Alters is outraged by the crime the 28-year-old Pedro Gonzalez is accused of. Gonzalez was an orderly at Mount Sinai Medical Center. Now he's charged with sexual battery. Police say he confessed to performing oral sex on a male patient from Miami who had just woken up from anesthesia after surgery. Alters represents that patient.
I'm concerned about why it happened, how it could have happened, And how in the middle of the day, after having surgery coming out of anesthesia, an employee of the hospital could do this to a patient.
Police say it happened after Gonzalez moved the patient from recovery to his own room on the 7th floor, and his wife was actually outside that room. According to a police report, the patient told Gonzalez he had a pain in his stomach, but instead of helping him, Gonzalez started to perform oral sex. That's when the patient pushed him away, saying, "Please stop, please go." Gonzalez did leave the room, but he came back twice, one time caressing the patient's face. Police were called. His uncle says his family is stunned.
He has never behaved this way before. From what I know, he has never been in trouble before. I never thought anything like this would happen. I'm very shocked because I am his uncle and I watched him growing up. And I feel very bad about this.
And so does Mount Sinai. According to a spokeswoman, the medical center has fired Gonzalez, and the spokeswoman said even an isolated incident is unacceptable. We worked very closely with the Miami Beach police and will continue to assist the authorities until a proper resolution is achieved.
They had an overwhelming obligation to make sure that he and any other patient under anesthesia was okay, and they failed in that obligation here.
The victim's attorney right there is considering a lawsuit against Mount Sinai Medical Center. Meanwhile, Pedro Gonzalez, who lives in this neighborhood right here, has been released on $10,000 bond and will have another court appearance next month. We're live in Hialeah. Peter Dent, CBS 4 News.
Thank you, Peter. As you just heard, there are details in this story which are very disturbing, and there are some details that we can't even tell you on TV. To read the arrest report, head over to CBS4.com, click on the local section.
After much anticipation, Barack Obama is finally making a campaign swing through South Florida. Let's take you live to Boca Raton, where he is speaking to supporters at a synagogue. This is a strategic stop, considering he has come under some fire from the Jewish community. When he's done in Boca, he will head south to Hollywood and a private fundraising dinner. CBS 4 has your complete Campaign 08 coverage, thanks to Michael Williams, who is traveling with Senator Obama. Michael.
Good afternoon, Antonio. Let me duck out of the shot so you can take a live look at Senator Obama, and I'm trying to keep it a little quieter here for the hundreds who've gathered to hear him. But as you look live, indeed, Senator Obama is here, he says, to dispel what he calls fear-mongering about his support for the Jewish people and the state of Israel. He says his opponents have miscast his record. He wants to set it straight, he says, and his supporters, including Boca Raton Congressman Robert Wexler, say he has an A+ rating from key Jewish groups for his support of Israel. And here is what Senator Obama had to say a short while ago.
When I am in the White House, I will bring with me an unshakable commitment to maintaining that bond between the United States and America, and an unshakable commitment to Israel's security.
And as you again look live at Senator Obama, he feels he needs to make those forceful statements here at the B'nai Torah Temple because of the skepticism some have expressed. We talked to a few people here before he began speaking. Here's what they had to say.
Obviously, as many others, we're concerned about some of the people he's affiliated with who have expressed some not the best comments about the Jewish state and the Jewish people. So that certainly is a concern.
The Reverend Jeremiah Wright among them?
Among them, yes.
Barack Obama has an A+ record on Israel. He stands shoulder to shoulder with Israel with respect to Israel's right of self-defense. He was with Israel in its war with Hezbollah in 2006. He supports Israel's ability to build its security fence, to guard its citizens against terrorism.
Again, live here at B'nai Torah Temple as we look at Senator Barack Obama directly and forthrightly, according to his staff and according to his beliefs, expressing his support for Israel. And we'll have full coverage on his visit here for you tonight at 6 o'clock. Now reporting live from Boca Raton, Michael Williams, CBS 4 News.
All right, thank you, Michael. And the man who could face Barack Obama come November is now preparing for what's going to be a big weekend. Senator John McCain will host a barbecue at his Arizona home. On the invitation list, Florida Governor Charlie Crist, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, and former presidential candidate Mitt Romney. All three have been mentioned as potential VPs.
Senator Ted Kennedy, meanwhile, is up and around, and he's talking also for the first time since being released from the hospital. CBS 4's Joanne Strader is here now with what the senator had to say. Joanne.
Well, he is very, very upbeat, Shannon, I tell you, and he was very thankful as he continues to recover at his Cape Cod home after being diagnosed with a malignant brain tumor. A flock of reporters caught up to the 76-year-old Massachusetts senator on the Cape. Kennedy, his wife, and 2 dogs there were off to enjoy a little sailing today, but took the time out to thank the outpouring of love and support he's received from doctors, family, and friends since being diagnosed with cancer.
Incredible amount of wonderful notes and letters from friends and colleagues in the Senate, and as well as from people here in Massachusetts. It's all been very, very touching.
It's been a wonderful outpouring of support.
So it's been very uplifting and touching. I'm very grateful for all that.
The senator was expected to speak at Wesleyan University's graduation ceremony this weekend, but now Democratic presidential candidate Barack Obama is expected to take his place. Now, if you want to see everything Kennedy told reporters just there, log on to CBS4.com. It's in our video player.
Thanks, Jawan. Florida Senate Democratic leader Steve Geller has filed suit against the Democratic National Party to seat the Florida delegates. Geller says that before disqualifying all the delegates, the DNC, under its own rules, should have investigated the events that led to changing the primary to January 29th.
So we are not filing this lawsuit to try and help or hurt any candidate. We're filing this lawsuit because the 3 of us are Democratic leaders in the state of Florida, and our concern is to make sure in Florida that all of the votes are counted.
Geller says Florida's Republican-dominated legislature changed the primary date and that Democrats could do little to change that. He says if the issue isn't settled now, Florida voters will rebel in November and the White House will go to John McCain.
Well, it's certainly what so many people are talking about, especially before a busy holiday weekend. American Airlines, have you heard? It's going to charge you $15 to check just 1 bag. Is this a sign of what's to come? Find out later on.
Also, cosmetic concern, what's in your favorite lotions, creams, and makeup may have you thinking twice before you put it on again. The I-Team investigation you won't want to miss is coming up in less than 30 minutes.
The school board failed to make budget cuts at its meeting. Tonight, CBS 4 is asking the toughest question of all. Now what? We'll have the answer next.
Hi, I'm Flora for Dolphin Carpet and Tile. This weekend, travertine tile on sale for just $2.99 a square foot, and we'll finance your purchase for up to 18 months with no interest and no payments. You'll love your new floor.
With every new day, there are so many new stories to share.
All of the faces that I see, all of the places close to me, they're all part of all the best things about home.
Antonio Mora tells the stories of South Florida on CBS 4 News.
Prepare yourself for an event so big we couldn't fit it inside. Nissan's tent event. Get the best deals now on stylish sedans, powerful trucks, and durable SUVs. Like $229 a month for the Nissan Rogue and $199 a month for the 5-star safety-rated Altima. Your new Nissan will last and last, but event savings won't. Tents come down June 2nd.
BrandSmart USA is having a huge Memorial Day sale. Save big now in every department throughout the store. Cool off with a higher air conditioner for $68.88 after mail-in rebate. A dishwasher from White Westinghouse is $148.88. Roper by Whirlpool's extra large capacity washer and dryer are $297.76 for the pair. Cook outside with Charbroil's barbecue grill for $298.88. And Roper side-by-side refrigerator with ice and water through the door is $588.88. BrandSmart USA. Of course, your favorite brands at low, low prices.
Hello, mates. I'm Flora the Dolphin for Dolphin Carpet and Tile. This weekend, laminate wood flooring on sale for just 99 cents a square foot. Hurry into Dolphin Carpet and Tile. You'll love your new floor.
Well, if you think that you stayed up late last night, it was a very late night for the Miami-Dade School Board.
Very late. They worked until 3 a.m. but ended up making no budget cuts. So that led us to ask, now what? CBS 4's Tiffany Helberg asked school district leaders that very question.
It is back to square one for the Miami-Dade School District after the school board vetoed the superintendent's budget proposals early this morning. So where do we go from here? Well, unfortunately, it doesn't look like anyone's driving this school bus now.
Protests.
Keep your promise to the kids.
And pleadings. Please. At the school board meeting led to a marathon session and a resounding no. The school board voted against proposals to cut school police, psychologists, teacher raises, and more.
Well, I think we dodged a bullet.
Karen Aronowitz is the president of the teachers union.
Obviously, we're going to have to continue to monitor the situation.
The teachers union has this list of alternative cuts that include district administrators and the creation of new programs, items they hope school board members like Dr. Martin Karp will consider.
When you've cut away all the fat, now you're cutting by the bone. And so things are starting to get painful.
And the pain will continue as the budget still needs to be cut, according to the superintendent, to the tune of more than $280 million.
Well, now we need to sort of go back to the drawing board and wait for the superintendent to bring forward some of his recommendations. But maybe not just wait. I think all of us are going to be bringing ideas, meeting with the different stakeholders to see if we can help come up with some good suggestions.
At this point, we're waiting to hear from the board what direction they would like to move in and what they think would be the proposal.
I spoke to one board member today, and he says, we're waiting to see what the superintendent proposes next. So it seems like both sides are waiting to see what the other guy's going to say.
Well, he came forward with his proposal. He has what he has in mind that would be the best proposal based on business, looking at how we can best run this enterprise. And now we need to hear more from them.
So the deadline to prepare the district's school budget is July 1st. We'll wait and see what happens. In downtown Miami, Tiffany Helberg, CBS 4 News.
A little boy fell from a balcony and crossed busy streets by himself, but only suffered some minor bumps and bruises. Ahead at 5:30, you'll meet this tough little guy and his family. They survived quite a scare.
$7 a gallon for gas. There's concern that that could actually happen. What our lawmakers are going to do to try to stop that next.
And that soaring cost of oil and gas has many South Floridians leaving their four-wheels at home and taking their two-wheelers out instead. What one company is offering its employees for riding their bikes to work. We'll have that story all new at 6 o'clock.
WeatherBug is brought to you by South Florida Honda Dealers.
Hello, I'm Scott Schlesinger from the Schlesinger Law Offices. If smoking has caused you or a loved one to suffer from a tobacco-related illness prior to November 21st, 1996, you may qualify for a portion of a trust fund of approximately $600 million. The Dade County Circuit Court has given you just days to register your claim. For more information, please call our offices toll-free at 866-831-3689 or visit SchlesingerLawOffices.com.
What's Lotto Plus?
It's Lotto Plus from the Florida Lottery. Now you can add millions to your jackpot. A $2 Lotto Plus jackpot starts at $13 million. A $3 Lotto Plus jackpot starts at $28 million. New Lotto Plus. It's Lotto Plus. Millions more.
Cha-ching. My shoes.
Closed captioning, sponsored by City Furniture, offering no interest until 2012 and same-day delivery 7 days a week.
This summer, in the hottest place in the world, comes one deal too good to pass up.
Just makes it all that more exciting, you know?
Starting May 21st, you have 3 months to live free. Visit 3monthsmovie.com.
CBS 4 Weather is brought to you by South Florida Ford Dealers.
There's something happening right now that could improve the quality of your child care center. It's called Quality Counts, and the Miami-Dade County program involves creating a voluntary 5-star rating system that will help parents choose the right center for their child. A helping hand to help these kids is music to the ears of Angela Ortega. She is the director of Jean Piaget Academy in Miami.
We want to improve the quality of the service we give. So in order to do that, we need good materials.
Ortega is one of the first to sign up for Quality Counts, a voluntary rating system that will evaluate the standard of education at early learning centers.
It's like when you go on vacation and you're looking for a hotel or a resort. These centers have a 5-star, these centers have a 4-star.
Participating centers will receive financial incentives to make improvements and financial rewards for achieving a 5-star rating.
It was a voluntary participation, but they offer us grants for equipment and materials for the center.
The $22 million project would pay for things like computers, books and art supplies, educational scholarships, and wage supplements for the staff. The Children's Trust Early Learning Coalition and the Early Childhood Initiative partnered to develop this program countywide with just one goal in mind.
The ultimate goal is for the child to receive the best early learning education possible.
At the end, the children are going to have the best. That's what we want.
Well, this program started in January. More than a dozen other states have similar quality count systems already in place. And if you'd like to find out more, just call the Children's Trust at 211 or go to cbs4.com/local. But it really can help parents make a better decision when it comes to their kids and which child care center they should choose.
That's terrific. I know you're very involved with Children's Trust.
Right. Yeah, and we're going to be showing actually every month different initiatives that Children's Trust has because they're involved in so many different areas.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Well, tourists flock to South Florida for our nightlife and our beaches, but it turns out ours aren't the best in the nation. That's according to FIU's Stephen Leatherman, better known as Dr. Beach. Caladaisy Island State Park is the best in the nation, and if you're wondering where that is, it's a secluded beach off of Florida's Gulf Coast. Key Biscayne is the only local beach to make the top 10. It came in at number 9. To see the complete list of the best beaches in the nation, you can log on to cbs4.com/local.
The beach would have been a fantastic place to be today, although right now we're getting some bad weather up north.
Especially in Broward, David.
Yeah, the storms have really started to go in the last half hour or so in Broward. So most of Broward County now, we are indicating storms are developing or are ongoing. We can see the heaviest lines now have just moved south and east and right into the western area. And those continue right across central Broward into the northeast into Deerfield Beach. Let's start in northern Broward right now. We can see heavy storms and lightning. Coconut Creek to Oakland Park and Wilton Manors. They're about to move into your area. Also Lighthouse Point, and there you can see also around Deerfield. If we move south and west, it's been storming pretty good near Southwest Ranches and also Weston. Davie and Plantation is in on the action, but the worst of it has stayed to the north of Miramar, at least for the time being. Now the rest of South Florida right now in Miami-Dade, it's quiet, but we have a cold air outflow boundary that is rushing across Medley and Hialeah right now, heading toward Doral. You can't really see it on here, but it's right in this area, and we're going to watch along this boundary to see if we get any more storms developing further south into Miami-Dade. Okay, here's a look at the rest of the conditions across the area right now. It is hot in Miami, 92 degrees. It's also 92 in CBS4. We're going to see our temperature drop here in the station, though, in the next 20 minutes. Fort Lauderdale is 87 and Key West has 86 degrees. Stickiness scale today is a 5, fairly sticky, feels like 97. South winds at 17. Gusted as high as 26, and so far in Doral, we've only seen 3/100ths of an inch. Now for tomorrow, hot and humid again, and storms are going to be around. We're really starting to settle into our rainy season pattern now. Definitely had that summer feel out there, and it looks like that storm situation is going to continue on Saturday, and it's going to be helped along by this cold front that's going to be moving into central Florida. So steamy sun and storms are going to be likely on Saturday, so that could be kind of a messy day. But as we go into Sunday, I still think this front moves on through. That's going to mean a cooler breeze developing, maybe some spotty showers, but the clouds may linger a bit. But it's still going to be fairly nice overall, and Memorial Day looks great right now, less humid with sun and breeze. So for the rest of tonight, we're going to have evening storms, certainly in Broward where they're ongoing now, but they could develop further south, warm and muggy with a low of 76. Storms around tomorrow, hot and humid, highs again approaching 92, and southeast winds at 10 seas 1 to 2, and the bays are going to see a light chop. So again, we're going to be a little bumpy the next couple of days with the storms. They're going to be likely Saturday, but a breezy and maybe a brief shower as the front comes through Sunday with a high of only 84. That looks pretty good. How about Memorial Day? Nice and breezy in 84, pleasant sun in 86 Tuesday. and then it looks like the summer storms will return on Wednesday. And by the time they do that on Wednesday, they're probably going to be back for good. We're going to keep a close eye on real-time Doppler 4. There's some strong lightning storms out there right now, so if you're around one, stay indoors until that storm has passed.
Yeah, be careful. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, David.
Oil prices set a new high of $135 a barrel today. The soaring prices are adding fuel to concerns that we could be paying $7 a gallon for gas before we know it. CBS 4 consumer investigator Al Sunshine has more on the additional problems being created and what Congress is going to do about it.
Record high prices at the pump
locked up and kept from getting to the
are
gas
causing
pump,
tempers
kept
to
from
flare
getting-
on Capitol Hill. Top U.S. oil executives faced a House panel to testify about their industry. And while they found friends among the Republicans, they came under fire for raking in giant profits while gas prices shoot higher and higher. The executive blamed Congress for making public lands off limits to drilling.
Access to our own oil and gas resources has been limited for the past 30 years.
The companies represented here reported combined profits of $30 billion in the first 3 months of this year. But gas prices continue to rise to a national average of $3.83 a gallon. Those soaring prices will make this an expensive weekend for millions of Americans hitting the road for the Memorial Day holiday. Some consumers are now flocking to smaller vehicles like Vespa scooters. Those sales have jumped 40% so far this year.
It's about $5 a week, and it's a lot easier than a car.
Oil company profits and the still rising price of gas to be one of the hottest campaign issues leading up to the fall elections. But unfortunately, just like the weather, it looks like there's a lot of people talking about high oil prices with no real solid plans what to do about it. For your money, I'm Al Sunshine, CBS 4 News.
Might be a little dangerous, though, to take a Vespa on the Dolphin, huh?
Yeah. I don't think you want to do that.
Yeah, no. Antonio and I are heading up to work on our 6 o'clock news and hope to see you then.
Now here are Erica Von Teal and Jawan Strader with a look at what's ahead at 5:30.
Yes, Antonio, $15 to check in one bag. American Airlines dropped that bombshell. Now are other airlines likely to follow suit? We'll show you what Gary Nelson found out coming up.
Plus, we use them every day, but maybe we shouldn't. CBS 4 I-Team investigator Lori Stein tells you if your cosmetics are cause for concern.
Well, check this out, folks. This isn't Yogi Bear right here, and that's not a picnic basket. Coming up, see what happened when the bear got into the driver's seat.
CBS 4 News at 5:30 starts right after the break.
Don't you put on some aftershave? You smell like lighter fluid.
My wife is gonna love you.
Do I seem unsatisfied to you?
You get everything we ever wanted.
Bruce and I were already raising our kids when the whole Woodstock counterculture thing began. I'm happy to tell you the train's still boarding.
Your new neighbors are really something.
I'll say.
Now, Margate Volvo is bigger, better, and greater than ever with a brand new showroom, kids playroom, and lounge, plus great service selection and prices. Margate is Great. Lease the 2008 Volvo XC90 from $399 a month or a 2008 Volvo S80 from $399 a month. Come see why being bigger and better makes Margate Great for you.
Hurry in now for Toyota's banner sales event with great deals and a huge selection of Toyotas, like the rugged and capable Tacoma. Now get $2,700 in total savings on new 08 Tacoma double cab models. That's $2,700 in total savings. Or check out the Tundra, Motor Trend's 2008 Truck of the Year. Now get 0% APR financing up to 60 months, plus $1,000 special APR down payment assistance on new 08 Tundra models. The banner sales event ends soon, so hurry into your Toyota dealer today.
Itchy allergy eyes? Claritin can take hours to work. Why wait for relief? Visine A goes right where it's needed to bring relief in minutes. Visine A, faster relief for allergy eyes.
A year of daily sun exposure is like a week at the beach without sunscreen. Now get UV protection in a new daily lotion from Aveeno. It locks moisture in while blocking UV rays out.
And that adds up to healthier skin every day.
New Aveeno Daily Lotion SPF 15.
Here's what's on CBS 4 tonight. Brought to you by Publix and Southeast Toyota.
Now more than ever, you want to get the most for your money.
Look no further than the rugged V6 2008 Kia Sportage. Fuel efficient, 5-star safety rated, backed by an industry-leading warranty, and it's priced about $6,000 less than a Toyota RAV4 Limited. Or to put it another way, a whole year's worth of groceries less. The Kia Spring Sales Event. It's money well saved. Now get 0% APR or $2,000 cash back on the Kia Sportage.
This segment of Dr. Sean is brought to you by Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Florida. Speak and be heard.
From Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys, this is South Florida's CBS 4 News.
Good evening, I'm Erica Montiel.
And I'm Jawan Strader. Elliot Rodriguez is off today. We begin with the bad weather in Broward.
Yep, CBS 4 Chief Meteorologist David Bernard is here. David, where are those storms right now?
Erica, here they are right behind me. This is the view from our BOA tower in downtown Fort Lauderdale with nasty storm clouds rolling through central Broward County. In fact, if we switch over to real-time Doppler 4 right now, we can see the worst of the storms are running right along the turnpike and then across 441 over to Interstate 95 and down to Plantation. In fact, our WeatherBug network has indicated the rainfall rates have been almost 1.5 inches per hour in Plantation as these storms move off to the east. Also, big storms around western and southwest ranches. They've weakened a bit. So far, they've stayed away from Miramar, and it looks like in Miami-Dade, things are quiet for the time being. But stormy in Broward for the next little while. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll have the holiday forecast in a few.
All right, David, thank you. Now at 5:30, a woman found this little boy wandering alone near a busy South Florida street. The scariest part, he had jumped off the second-story balcony. The 4-year-old boy walked more than a half a mile away from his home before someone spotted him. CBS 4's Shamari Stone is live in Miramar with more. Shamari, who was supposed to be watching this child?
Jawan, his grandmother was supposed to be watching him, and after reporting on this story today, I must say that it's remarkable that this young boy is alive right now. Now, the Miramar Police Department and the Department of Children and Families investigated. They determined this was an accident, and they reunited the boy with his grandmother and uncle.
All right. Deshaun Carreras eats chicken nuggets and holds a CBS 4 microphone in his uncle's arms after a miraculous day in Miramar.
You fell down?
He was
How old
flying
is he?
down.
He's 4. This 4-year-old boy jumped from his second-story balcony and survived. His grandmother, Ruth Torres, was stunned.
But I didn't think he would do it. You know, I wouldn't even let him come out of the outside in the balcony.
This all started Thursday morning inside their apartment. She says she was in the bathroom when Deshaun opened the sliding glass door. He used this chair to climb up on the rail, and he jumped off and fell more than 20 feet to the ground.
Then I say he must have fallen on top of the bushes because they tell he has some scratches.
That's incredible that he wasn't hurt. He could have hit his head on that concrete.
Yeah, and I was very worried.
Deshaun wasn't finished with his adventure. Police say he walked out of his gated community and then a half mile to this busy intersection. A Good Samaritan found him and called police. Detectives located the boy's grandmother and they determined this was all an accident. The Department of Children and Families got involved and decided to give Deshaun back to his grandmother. It's a happy ending to what could have been a tragedy for this family. Everybody better?
Yeah, everybody's good. Thank God.
Now his grandmother is very happy that he's back home. She plans on buying a child lock for the sliding glass door. Live in Miramar, I'm Shamari Stone, CBS 4 News.
Incredible he's okay. Thanks, Shamari. A chilling discovery was made outside a North Miami auto shop today. A woman's body was found in some bushes near the Superior Collision Center on Northeast 131st Street. Police have not yet released her identity. They're waiting on an autopsy to determine how she died.
Budget cuts are hitting South Florida's largest public university, but students refuse to let that affect their education. Students at Florida International University held a protest at their main campus. Looming budget cuts could close down the Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering. The school says that it needs to cut $3.5 million from the budget. Now, the students hope to drop the cuts to $2 million to prevent any academic closures.
American Airlines will try to negotiate turbulent financial times by charging you more, but not for your ticket. Starting June 15th, American will charge $15 to check just one bag. And as CBS 4's Gary Nelson reports, it's all about the soaring cost of fuel.
With fuel prices taking off and no ceiling in sight, American Airlines has announced no more free bag. Starting June 15th, American will charge $15 for you to check a bag one way. Round trip, that one bag will cost you $30. This after American and other airlines recently started charging $25 for a second checked bag.
I think this is outrageous. This is they're trying to rip us off even worse.
We can't carry all of our bags onto the airplane, and so we should be able to check our bags for free.
But free bag check is going the way of free peanuts and free meals. This sign near the airport today is the graphic reason why, and the airlines pay even more for jet fuel that's more costly to produce. The airlines aren't the only ones feeling the pain. Limo driver Lenny Delia waited for a customer today and remembered a recent trip to Broward.
I must have been there 9 hours. I made probably about $150 and the fuel cost me $80. Was it worth my time? No.
And with baggage surcharges surging, life for a baggage handler is getting tougher.
Are they taking it out on you, Skycaps?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Tips are suffering. When they got to pay $15 or $25 a bag, that tip shrinks.
Sometimes you don't get nothing.
But he still has a job. Lots of folks won't when American gets done slashing costs. The company will cut its service up to 12%, eliminating some 250 flights a day. An estimated 5,000 jobs will be lost.
If you find $15 to check a bag burdensome, well, steel yourself for more baggage to come. Analysts agree there are higher fares and more fees in the future, not just at American, but industry-wide. At Miami International, Gary Nelson, CBS 4 News.
And the rising costs won't stop many people from flying, especially this weekend. Memorial Day weekend is one of the busiest travel times of the year. Passengers aren't talking about long lines at security checkpoints this year. They're talking about the rising costs.
It's ridiculous. They charge enough for a ticket, you know. You have to book way in advance to even get a discount.
Well, I always thought the baggage cost was part of the price. And to spring it on us at this point in time maybe is a bit of a odd situation.
Of course, you can't avoid paying the extra fees, but you might be able to avoid the long lines. Remember the 3-1-1 rule. All liquids, gels, or sprays must fit in a clear plastic 1-quart bag with a zip top. And none of those items can hold more than 3 ounces, and only 1 bag is allowed per passenger.
Well, women and men use them every day, lotions, creams, and cosmetics. But there's something you should know before you put them on again. Your favorite product could be linked to cancer. CBS 4 investigative reporter Lori Stein explains in tonight's I-Team report.
Elise Vanderijs spends so much time playing tennis that she keeps a whole basket of sunscreens next to the court.
Tell me about why you chose these products.
And she chose each one pretty carefully.
This one I chose for tennis because it doesn't leave your hands greasy.
But when I offer to see whether the ones she bought are safe to use, she got a little worried.
I hope my choices are good ones.
We hope so too, because some environmentalists and doctors are now saying that many of the ingredients in the sunscreens, lotions, and cosmetics we use every day are very dangerous. Stacy Malkin from the Campaign for Safe Cosmetics says consumers have a very false sense of security.
I would think a lot of consumers assume the FDA or some other government entity is really regulating the cosmetics they buy.
It's true. Most people are surprised to find out that companies don't have to safety test products. They can put nearly anything into beauty products with no safety testing without fully labeling the products.
The alleged culprits have names like 1,4-dioxane, found in almost half of all baby products, phthalates and toluene, found in nail polish, lead in men's hair coloring, nanoparticles found in makeup, and the list goes on.
So they absorb much more toxins.
Dr. Betty Bellman says many are linked to reproductive harm and serious illness.
If some of these chemicals are absorbed, even a little bit over a lifetime, it can potentially increase our risk for cancer. If you see some of these chemicals, I would definitely throw them away.
People I spoke to who work in the cosmetics industry say more and more people, more and more customers are asking specific questions about the products they buy. They're looking closely at the labels and looking at all the ingredients. They're also expecting the manufacturers to be a lot more accountable.
I think society wants
the change today.
Ron Robinson from Fred Siegel Skincare and Tamra Gordon from Cream Cosmetics tell me some manufacturers are slowly starting to bow to consumer pressure and reformulate their products.
There's enough information that we have to respond and say, we don't need to do that.
There was a children's line I didn't buy because there was too many chemicals in it, and I knew, so I told them, and it's being reformulated.
If you want to check out a product, I found a website that lets you enter a product's name and see where it rates on the toxicity scale. Remember Elise? Some of her favorite sunscreens got a hazardous 7 out of 10.
I think they should be more honest about what's in their products if they are harmful to the skin and to the body. I think it's their responsibility to the consumer.
And here's one last tip for you. Experts say you should look for products that don't have any fragrance. If it says unscented, experts say it could mean that it actually has a fragrance that masks the original fragrance, and therefore it's got a lot of chemicals. They say you want to look for the words fragrance-free. On Miami Beach, Lori Stein, CBS 4 News.
Wow, this is something really to think about and something that impacts everybody.
Oh, it really does. I mean, sunscreen, everyone uses that. Well, coming up, this is no picnic basket.
Bear just opened the door.
Wow.
You heard it right here. A bear opened the door and is in the driver's seat. We'll show you what it did next.
Wow, up in flames. That's what could happen to your holiday barbecue once we tell you how much more it's going to cost you. You don't want to miss out. Sunshine's report in about 15 minutes.
And 2 Picasso pictures stolen from the South Florida gallery. We'll tell you how much they're worth tonight at 6 o'clock.
You're watching CBS 4 News at 5:30, covering Coral Shores, South Miami, Tavernier, and your South Florida neighborhood.
We'll be right back.
Next, E.T. and the Insider. Ted Kennedy, the fight for his life. Insiders reveal the real story. Then Grey's Anatomy romance secrets. Plus, Nip Tuck Mommies. And Donna Summer on our stage. Next, E.T. and Insider.
Starting tonight at 7 on CBS 4. When you want the whole story, count on the combined resources of CBS 4 News and the Miami Herald, working together every day to cover your world.
Hi, I'm Mario Morgado, one of the owners here at Brickell Motors, and I want you to see what happens when you call the owner.
You want a Yukon or any truck? Call the owner. Call Rick. I did, and I saved over $60 on my monthly payment.
Yukons up to $10,000 off and 0% financing for up to 60 months. 2008 GMC Acadias loaded with extras, only $369 a month.
Call the owner. That's me, Rick. 305-206-6620. Brickell Motors. When the owners are always in, you win.
It's Tour de French Toast at IHOP. People everywhere are racing to IHOP for our famously phenomenal French toast. There's sensational strawberry, sinful cinnamon swirl, banana stuffed, or original stuffed. Try them with all your favorite sides for a meal that's a real winner. IHOP. Come hungry, leave happy.
Welcome to IHOP.
Call IHOP and get it to go with IHOP and Go.
How fast can you save money? Tammy is applying for a free wind inspection at MySafeFloridaHome.com. Thousands of Florida homeowners have already done the same, qualifying for an average savings of about $200 on their insurance. Karen has decided to save money by giving herself a 4-minute haircut. Tammy's done. Nice look, Karen. MySafeFloridaHome.com. We protect Florida's homes, you protect your pocketbook.
This summer, in the hottest place in the world, comes one deal too good to pass up.
Just makes it all that more exciting, you know?
Starting May 21st, you have 3 months to live free. Visit 3monthsmovie.com.
It's Bears Memorial Weekend Sale. Up to 70% savings store-wide. Plus, this weekend only. An extra 20% savings rebate with this coupon. Bears Memorial Weekend Sale. This weekend only at Bears. Don't miss it.
The top U.S. commander in Iraq says that he could recommend further troop reductions by September. General David Petraeus says that it all depends on continued security improvements.
But I do believe that there will be certain assets that, as we are already looking at the picture right now, we'll be able to recommend can be either redeployed or not deployed to the theater in the fall.
Now, Petraeus was talking before the Senate Armed Services Committee. It's conducting a confirmation hearing to promote Petraeus to lead U.S. Central Command. The hearing also covered the promotion of Lieutenant General Ray Adenero to replace Petraeus as commander of U.S. troops in Iraq.
The state of Texas may have overstepped its authority when it removed more than 450 children from a polygamous compound last month. You probably remember this footage of the children being removed by the busloads after allegations of abuse. Well, a state appeals court ruled today that the state had not proven that the children were in immediate physical danger. Therefore, they were improperly separated from their parents. However, the court did not order the return of the children. A fire burning out of control in California has forced residents to evacuate. The fire started early this morning in the Santa Cruz Mountains and has already consumed more than 2,000 acres. Wind gusts continue to spread the blaze. At least 20 homes have been destroyed.
All right, take a look, folks. It's wildlife gone wild. A bear attacked a parked car, and the vehicle's owners were rolling with their camera.
Oh my God, he wants to get in the car.
The Pennsylvania car owners had a front row seat right here. The bear was looking around the car, trying to find a way in, and finally the bear opened the car door and made a major mess. The seats were shredded, the panels pulled, and the roof ripped apart.
Up, I said, wait a minute, did I dream all this or did it really happen? You know, saw the car, it happened, it really happened.
Yes, it did. The couple is not sure how much the damage will cost, but by the looks of the car right here, it might be unbearably expensive.
Can you imagine calling that into your insurance? What happened?
Try to explain that.
Yeah, right,
yeah,
it did.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming up, Memorial Day weekend is almost here, and that means it's time for the annual Hip Hop Weekend on South Beach.
The chief of the Miami Beach Police Department says that he has a plan to deal with the crowds this year. You'll hear from him coming up, all new at 6.
And I'm Lisa Petrillo. Indy's back, but is it worth the long wait for the latest sequel? I'll have your first review of the summer blockbuster. That's next.
I'm David Bernard in the Storm Center. Look at real-time Doppler radar right now. We have big downpours moving through Oakland Park, Wilton Manors, the north side of Fort Lauderdale and Lauderdale Lakes. And all that's moving off to the northeast pretty quickly. We also have strong winds with this line of green, this outflow boundary, up to 40 miles per hour moving through West Miami-Dade as we speak. I'll give you the very latest on this and the holiday outlook right after this.
Hello, mates. I'm Flora the Dolphin for Dolphin Carpet and Tile. This weekend, Stainmaster Carpet on sale for just $2.49 a square foot. Installed. Hurry in to Dolphin Carpet and Tile. You'll love your new floor.
You know, I've just had this problem fitting bras, and it's pinching me here, it's touching me there, it's digging me here. It was interesting to find out what I can do to correct that with the right bra.
34 G's.
Seriously.
Seriously. G is for gorgeous. And look at how great that looks, huh?
I felt like it was all about me and about making me feel better, and it really did. I'm standing straighter, I look better in my clothes, I feel better. It's just amazing when you put the right bra on how you feel. It's kind of shocking, actually.
For your free bra fitting, visit myintimacy.com or Intimacy at Aventura Mall.
See what the buzz is all about at Lauderdale BMW, South Florida's premier BMW dealer. The 2008 328i sedan. Lease starting from just $389 a month. Zero cost full maintenance, raising the bar with its exceptional design and performance. The 2008 328i sedan. Now at Lauderdale BMW with 2 locations in Fort Lauderdale and Pembroke Pines. Lauderdale BMW, the real difference.
Time is running out. This is the last weekend to choose any beautiful room at any price, up to $3,000, and pay just $30 a month at Rooms to Go. And believe it or not, Rooms to Go pays your interest until May 2012, 4 years from now. That's any living room, $30 a month. Any bedroom, $30 a month. Any dining room, $30 a month. Interest-free until May 2012. Choose from over 100 great rooms. $30 a month at Rooms to Go. Now through Memorial Day only.
The GE Profile Refrigerator with Climate Keeper 2 maintains higher humidity to keep food garden fresh longer.
See stylish and innovative GE Profile refrigerators, dishwashers, and cooking products at BrandSmart USA. Now receive up to $500 cash back on up to 5 select GE Profile and GE Cafe appliances.
GE. Imagination at work.
Hello, mates. I'm Flora for Dolphin Carpet and Tile. This weekend, genuine hardwood on sale, just $2.99 a square foot. Ooh! Hurry into Dolphin Carpet and Tile. You'll love your new floor.
You know what the music means. Indiana Jones is back in a big way. The movie opened to packed theaters just after midnight this morning.
And I know you are very happy that it did. So is this the blockbuster hit we all expect it to be? CBS 4 entertainment reporter Lisa Petrillo may have the answer you're looking for.
Damn, I thought that was closer.
The long-awaited third sequel to Raiders of the Lost Ark is aimed directly at those diehard fans who waited 20 years for that swashbuckling archaeologist named Indiana Jones to dust off that hat and save the world. Director Steven Spielberg and writer George Lucas say it was high time.
It's a whole new era. It's almost a couple of decades have passed since we last saw Indy, and Indy has grown up and grown wiser and probably grown a lot stronger, too.
Yes, Indiana is older. Harrison Ford is actually 65, but he doesn't look it or act it, performing most of the stunts himself. The setting takes place in the 50s. Indiana finds himself taken to a mysterious military base known as Area 51. Soviet spies led by Irina Spalko, played by Cate Blanchett, wants Indiana to help her find the crystal skull. You see, whoever returns that skull to the city temple will be given control of its power. Indiana is not going to let that happen.
What's he gonna do now?
I don't think he plans that far ahead. Back for the sequel is Indiana's true love, Marion, played by Karen Allen, and a young biker named Mutt Williams, charmingly played by Shia LaBeouf. If you're a fan of Indiana Jones, The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull delivers. It's jam-packed with those magical moments only Spielberg and Lucas can deliver. Non-stop action with one of America's most favorite heroes back in the driver's seat.
I think this is the quintessential family movie. And I think this is the kind of movie not just for the fans, but for people who don't follow the series, but are about to witness, perhaps for the first time, what he's about to go through. And they're going to go along on the ride.
All right, all in all, no, it's not Raiders. That masterpiece stands alone. But The Kingdom of the Crystal Skull will leave you feeling like you've escaped this world for a bit and went on a high-flying adventure to places unknown. And that, to me, is what makes moviegoing fun. I give it a thumbs up. I'm Lisa Petrillo, CBS 4 News.
I still want to see it. Thank you, Lisa. Well, we have some action-packed weather to talk about.
Yeah, a lot of storms moving through Broward and strong winds headed our way here in Miami-Dade. Joining us now with more on that, David Bernard. Take it away, David.
Okay, Juwan, let's go right to real-time Doppler radar. The rain very intense from Lauderdale Lakes to Coconut Creek back to Oakland Park and Wilton Manors with this cell. That extends back to the west through Coral Springs. It looks like things are improving in Tamarack. We want to go a little bit closer in on this storm into Broward County. When we do, you'll be at a good look at where the areas I'm talking about, even Lauderdale by the Sea, Sea Ranch Lakes up to Pompano Beach. These storms now affecting you. It's going to rain really hard for about 20 minutes, and then it looks like this storm should begin to slowly move out of the area. Now, when we pull out a little bit further, I'm showing you this thin green line. You see this right here? It's approaching the Tamiami Trail, moving straight down the turnpike. It's approaching the Dolphin. This is an outflow boundary. This is cold air rushing to the south out of the storms in Broward, and the winds have been reported as high as 40 miles per hour as this moved through northwestern Miami-Dade around Hialeah and also Medley. So if you're anywhere along the Dolphin and at the turnpike and along the Tamiami Trail and south of there, especially in the southwest Dade, you may see some gusts up to 40 miles per hour in the next 15 to 30 minutes as this boundary continues to surge on down to the south. Okay, what about rainfall so far? Let's go to our live weather bug network. We're at the William Dandy Middle School in Fort Lauderdale. It's rain cooled at 72 degrees, and they've almost had 0.8 of an inch of rain, wind gusts to 22. Right now, winds out of the north and northwest with that storm, only about 2 to 3 miles per hour. All right, so far today across the area before the storms came, it was hot, and we saw high temperatures today in the lower 90s, and was no exception in places like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, and also CBS 4, all making it into the low 90s. You can see 93 at Miami, Key West today. The high temperature was at 88 degrees. Now remember, you can always check out real-time Doppler 4 and get your neighborhood rain totals right there at CBS4.com. Now, what about for tomorrow? I think once again, it's going to be a summery type day. Heat and humidity, and then look for those storms to bubble up across the area once again. I do want to mention today that NOAA, the U.S. government, came out with their hurricane season forecast, and it's about what we were expecting. They're calling for 12 to 16 named storms, 6 to 9 hurricanes, 2 to 5 major hurricanes. There are the averages, 11, 6, and 2. Don't pay too much attention to these numbers. We need to be prepared for anything here in South Florida each and every year. But again, the signal means above average. Okay, for the rest of tonight, evening storms and warm and muggy overnight and 76. Tomorrow, 92. Storms around hot and humid. On the water, look for southeast winds at 10, seas 1 to 2 feet. Okay, so storms around tomorrow, storms likely on Saturday, breeze and a shower on Sunday. So Sunday it starts to improve, it cools down. Monday looks good. And pleasant sun on Tuesday, and maybe the storms coming back on Wednesday. Really start to feel summery out there today, and looks like our rainy season is beginning to kick in.
A lot of grateful lawns out there. Thanks,
Yeah.
David.
All right, David, thank you. Well, there's something you need to know before you even think of lighting your barbecue this weekend. More of your money will be going up in flames. We'll explain next.
Now here's Shannon Hoyle. It's coming up all new at 6.
Erica and Jawan, we're going to have live team coverage of Barack Obama's visit to South Florida. Hundreds turn out for his speech in Boca. Tonight, we'll take a closer look at why he chose to speak at a synagogue and why the Jewish vote is getting so much attention this year. Plus this.
I'm Leave Davalos. With gas prices going through the roof, one local company decided to do something about it. Coming up, I'm going to tell you how some employees are actually making money by ditching their cars and riding their bikes to work.
Sounds good. And two very valuable pieces of art swiped from a South Florida art gallery early this morning. How the thieves got inside when Antonio and I see you at 6. We can't do enough to protect ourselves from breast cancer. I'm Shannon Horry, urging you to sign up for News for the Cure, my monthly e-newsletter full of the latest health reports, personal stories, and more. News for the Cure. Sign up for it at CBS4.com.
Slide into summer at Tony Roma's and make a splash with your friends. We're serving up summer with flame-grilled ribs and savory favorites that are as refreshing as a day at the beach. Plus, you can catch a cool one. Make a splash and slide into summer at Tony Roma's. Better hurry into Tony Roma's before these new favorites slide on by.
This summer, in the hottest place in the world, comes one deal too good to pass up.
Just makes it all that more exciting, you know?
Starting May 21st, you have 3 months to live free. Visit 3monthsmovie.com.
Here's what's on CBS 4 tonight. Brought to you in HD TV by BrandSmart USA and Lincoln.
I'm Jennifer Seidel. And I'm Alyssa Seidel. When you're looking for a new or used car, truck, van, or SUV, bring your family to see our family at any of our 7 dealerships in Dade and Broward County. And like our familiar jingle says,
0%. Get 0% APR financing on select new 2008 Gallants and Eclipses at Bill Settles Mitsubishi in Miami, Northwest 36th Street, 29th Avenue, and Mitsubishi of Davie, 5395 South University Drive.
Tamo. Hi, I'm Lee Tiger. And I'm Houston Cypress. We'd like to invite you to the Miccosukee Music Festival at the Miccosukee Indian Village. This year, the tribe proudly presents Kansas, the Marshall Tucker Band, Mitch Ryder and the Detroit Wheels, a Miccosukee fashion show. Don't miss our breathtaking alligator wrestling show, authentic Indian food booths, arts, crafts, shopping and dining, and airboating will be available. That's Saturday, July 19th. Tickets sold at the gate. See you there.
CBS 4 Weather is brought to you by the Miccosukee Tribe of Indians.
Well, Memorial Day weekend is the unofficial start to summer and grilling season.
Yeah, if you're going to be one of those people firing up the barbecue, we want to warn you, more money is going to go up in flames this year. CBS 4 consumer investigator Al Sunshine has the information you need to know.
Grilling and chilling a Memorial Day tradition, but just like about everything else, get ready for higher prices if you're planning a holiday barbecue. High gas prices are pushing up the cost of your holiday cookout like almost everything else. Need propane for your grill? Wholesale prices are reportedly up about 50% over last year. Some dealers tell me they've tried to hold down retail prices for a while. That $19 fill-up last year now goes for about $22.
Have not passed it on fully to the consumer at this time.
How much worse could it get, in your opinion?
I don't see any end in sight.
The average price of the family barbecue is now up about 6% over last year, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. So where are the deals? Are prices actually going down on anything? Well, just listen to this. We have a very good statewide watermelon crop. There's a lot of watermelon on the market. A lot of supply means lower prices. Watermelon's now selling for about 59 cents a pound or even less, down from 79 cents last Memorial Day. Beef prices are down some too, as consumers have found better deals with other meat products like pork.
Pork has not gone up, but the red meat has come down a little bit because supply and demand.
People are cutting back eating beef.
People are cutting back eating beef.
And here's another money saver. Florida produce prices are down. So to find some real money savers for this year's Memorial Day grilling, look no further than the veggie section.
We've got corn, we've got produce, still at reasonable prices. We're finding more customers cooking now.
So grilled veggies are still a good deal.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now remember, generic store brands are usually cheaper than the big name products, and if you can keep a tight budget, bulk foods are also cheaper per portion. Now, despite the convenience of paper plates and plastic utensils, you can save money using your regular everyday dishes. Hey, it's a lot cheaper to rinse them off than to throw out those more expensive plastic products. For your money, I'm Al Sunshine, CBS 4 News.
All right, Al, some good tips there. The news continues now with Antonio Mora and Shannon Horry.
CBS 4 News at 6 starts right now.
From Miami-Dade, Broward, and the Keys, this is South Florida's CBS 4 News.
We begin tonight with a batch of strong storms moving through parts of South Florida. Good evening. I'm Shannon Horry.
And I'm Antonio Mora. Those storms are moving through Broward County right now. Chief Meteorologist David Bernard joins us. And David, we've got some lightning and some heavy rain.
We sure do, Antonio. Some of the rain rates have been up to 1.5 inches an hour earlier, especially around Plantation and parts of Oakland Park. Now, here's the big view of Broward County right now, and the strongest storms are now in northeastern Broward. We're going to zoom into that area, and when we come in a bit closer, you can see how it's been really raining hard. Coconut Creek over to Pompano Beach. Now, places like Lighthouse Point all the way to Deerfield Beach and extending to southeast Palm Beach County. That's where the worst of this storm is right now. Back to the south and west, it's not as bad. If we look at the western area, we'll be able to see that there's some rain there. Also moving through Southwest Ranches in the last few minutes, but it really overall is not that bad. It's that northeastern Broward storm that is the one that's caused all the heavy rain. Now, this green line that you see moving through West Miami-Dade, see it approaching the Tamiami Trail now and moving due south along the turnpike. That's an outflow boundary. Cold air rushing from the thunderstorms. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour have been reported with that. Let's go to our exclusive live weather bug network, and here are some neighborhood run totals. The Executive Airport in Fort Lauderdale over 1 inch so far. Prospect and Powerline Roads 3/4 of an inch, and in Plantation Gardens 69 1/100 inch of rain with these downpours. Hey, more on the way for tomorrow and the weekend. I'll tell you about a stormy holiday forecast in a few.
All right, David, thanks for weather updates anytime. Head over to CBS4.com. There you can find real-time radar plus weather bug. It's all right there in the weather section of CBS4.com.
When I am in the White House, I will bring with me an unshakable commitment to maintaining that bond between the United States and America and an unshakable commitment to Israel's security.
Barack Obama courting the Jewish vote in South Florida and trying to put an end to accusations that he's anti-Israel. Obama spent the morning in Washington for a vote on funding the Iraq War.
He then returned to South Florida, speaking directly to a crowd of Jewish voters, even linking the dangers in Iraq to the safety of Israel. Tonight, we have live team coverage of Obama's visit and the controversy over the Jewish vote, beginning with CBS 4's Michael Williams. And Michael's been traveling with Obama all week, but tonight was sort of a different speech.
Sorry, Shannon, the music's coming up, and so I didn't quite catch all of that. Nonetheless, we're in day 2 of Barack Obama's visit. You see the throng behind me. He just wrapped up his visit to the B'nai Torah temple here in Boca Raton. At times, the senator used humor, saying, "Don't vote against me simply because I have a funny-sounding name." But for the most part, he was very serious in reaffirming what he says is his long-standing record of support for Israel. Barack Obama told the gathering at B'nai Torah he wants to dispel the fear-mongering he says his opponents are promoting.
When I am in the White House, I will bring with me an unshakable commitment to maintaining that bond between the United States and America and an unshakable commitment to Israel's security.
Obama says America must talk with her friends and her enemies, but forcefully rejected claims that he would sit down with groups promoting terror against Israel.
We must not negotiate with a terrorist group that's intent on Israel's destruction. We should only sit down with Hamas if they renounce terror, recognize Israel's right to exist, and abide by past agreements.
Obama also says Iran must reject its nuclear ambitions and hostility towards Israel, but says the war in Iraq has weakened America's ability to focus on those issues.
Make no mistake about it. Our invasion of Iraq has empowered Iran. It is one of the biggest strategic blunders that we have made. And I intend to change it when I'm President of the United States of America.
That is a tone that a confident Barack Obama has had over the 2 days of his Florida swing, which will wrap up in Miami tomorrow. I'll be there to cover that. He has talked about when he might be president, when he might have the nomination. Clearly a man who feels the Democratic nomination is within his grasp. Serious differences between him and the presumptive Republican challenger John McCain on how to deal with America's enemies. John McCain has said Barack Obama is soft on foreign policy and is too willing to sit down with America's enemies. Barack Obama says, look at the record of the last 8 years. It's time to sit down from a position of strength and do just that. And speaking of what may happen in the next month or so, Barack Obama had to fend off talk today that he already has a short list of vice presidential hopefuls. That's the kind of rumors going around his campaign right now. He said, I haven't picked anybody. I don't officially have the nomination, but any short list would include speculation about Hillary Clinton, as well as names like Joe Biden and even as disparate as Chuck Hagel, the tough-minded Republican out of Nebraska, former Senator Sam Nunn of Georgia, and the like. We'll see how that all plays out. But again, he continues his campaign swing through Florida, the vital swing state that it is, and we'll have complete coverage throughout the rest of that trip. Reporting live from Boca Raton, Michael Williams, CBS 4 News.
All right, thanks, Michael. Again, it's no coincidence that Barack Obama chose to speak at a synagogue today. As we mentioned, growing attention is being paid to the Jewish vote here in South Florida and across the country. Supporters fear that allegations about Obama's stance on Israel could turn crucial voters against him. CBS 4's Ted Scouten has a closer look at the issues involved.
He is no friend of Israel.
It's an allegation that's dogged Barack Obama for some time, that he's anti-Israel and anti-Semite. The Albert family is parading around with signs saying Obama is bad for Israel.
I know his friends. That's what I do know about him. Reverend Wright, Louis Farrakhan.
He has denounced Minister Farrakhan, says he completely disagrees with him.
Mark Gilbert is Jewish, past president of the B'nai Torah Synagogue, and is an Obama staffer. He, along with Rabbi David Steinhardt, say there are a lot of rumors, half-truths, and outright lies about the senator out there.
I think there's a lot of misinformation and there's a lot of fear. You know, Obama is a lot less known than John McCain. His history is a lot shorter.
It's no coincidence this town hall meeting was at a synagogue. The idea was for people to ask questions. Gilbert says because of Democratic candidates boycotting Florida, Senator Obama could not connect with many voters.
The senator was not able to come to Florida and spend time talking to people about his views on Israel and his support for Israel. And I think that's one of the reasons why so many people have so many misconceptions.
I think McCain is closer to Israel.
My problem is that he's been vague.
This is the challenge Senator Obama faces in Florida, to get his message out and to get people to want to hear it.
We were talking earlier about...
Now, supporters who were here at the town hall meeting with Barack Obama say that if anyone has doubts, what they should do is they should look at the senator's record in Congress, saying that with watchdog groups, he has earned an A+ rating when it comes to Jewish issues. We're live in Boca Raton. I'm Ted Scout, CBS 4 News.
Thank you, Ted. The other Democratic candidate was also back in Washington today. Senator Hillary Clinton voted in support of an improved GI Bill. It gives more money to the troops for education costs. It also guarantees soldiers a free ride to public universities if they serve at least 3 years in the military. In a speech on the Senate floor, Clinton said we need to act to support all troops and veterans before, during, and after their deployment. John McCain was noticeably absent from today's vote in the Senate. Instead, he campaigned in Burbank, California. McCain opposes the GI Bill. He's worried it will deplete the retention rates of those currently serving in the military. Meantime, he's hosting at least 3 Republicans at his home this weekend in Arizona. Among them are Governor Charlie Crist, Louisiana Governor Bobby Jindal, and former presidential candidate Mitt Romney. A top aide says it's a social event not meant for vetting a vice presidential candidate. CBS 4's Jim DeFeeti did a one-on-one interview with Barack Obama today, and you can listen to that whole interview on our website. Just log on to CBS4.com/campaign WFOR.
Developing right now in Colorado, a deadly tornado has caused terrible damage near Denver. This was the frightening image of a massive tornado that thousands had to escape from this afternoon. The colossal storm ripped through several towns in northern Colorado, about 50 miles north of Denver. The twister overturned trucks, knocked trains off their tracks, and destroyed dozens of homes. So far, one person has been confirmed dead. Officials are still trying to figure out how many are injured. For more on these storms, please stay tuned for the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric. That is coming up next at 6:30. The Coast Guard is searching for a Pompano Beach man tonight. Pierre Raymond owns the Shores Terrace Motel in Pompano Beach. The Coast Guard says Raymond rented a boat from this boat rental shop on Wednesday. He was expected back last night, but he never returned. Friends are worried.
Well, everybody's shaken up. Everybody's upset, hoping for the best. You know, we're not expecting any bad news. We're not hoping for any bad news, but, you know, we don't know what to expect right now.
The Coast Guard is searching a wide area. A park ranger at John U. Lloyd Park says she saw Raymond around midnight Thursday. He apparently had grounded his boat and was waiting for high tide to go back in the water. He has not been seen since.
A hospital worker confessed to taking advantage of a patient in a South Florida hospital, and now he's facing some serious charges. Miami Beach police say Pedro Gonzalez sexually assaulted a male patient as he was coming out of anesthesia. Gonzalez's job is to transfer patients within Mount Sinai Medical Center. The patient called police from his hospital bed. Gonzalez was arrested and now faces sexual battery charges.
It's an annual South Florida tradition, Hip Hop Weekend on South Beach. And this year, the police chief says he has a plan to keep all those people safe. CBS 4's Natalia Zia is live on the beach with more. Natalia.
Well, Antonio, despite the struggling economy, more than 200,000 people are expected to head right out here to South Beach to enjoy Hip Hop Weekend. It's known as that among many other nicknames. And this year, police are planning a more compassionate approach than in some years past. As visitors fly into town to take part in Hip Hop Weekend in South Beach, police are receiving their marching orders and will take to the streets full force Friday. But despite fights and even murders during past Memorial Day weekends on the beach, Miami Beach Police Chief Carlos Noriega has planned a softer, more gentle approach.
We showed a little more tolerance, issuing more warnings, whether it was for minor stuff like drinking in public, noise violations. Before issuing tickets, we issue warnings. And that's pretty much the philosophy we want to maintain this year as well.
Instead of cops in riot gear on Ocean Drive, you'll see more bike cops and officers on foot. Chief Noriega met with the ACLU and the NAACP to help formulate the plan. He started this new approach last year, and it reduced the number of arrests by more than 200.
I've seen them giving warnings, but other than that, if you do what you got to do, you ain't got to worry about no police giving you warnings or anything like that. You good, you'll have a great time, plenty of people, plenty of fun. It's awesome. I love it.
A lot of people real excited about this weekend. Now, one of the biggest changes police are making here this year is that you notice here there are very few cops. And that is because they've decided not to do their full whole department push until tomorrow. Most times they do it for 4 days starting on Thursday, but they say they really don't see a need to do that yet. Now, they do want to warn you, though, just because they're going to be more compassionate and a little nicer maybe, that does not mean they're not going to be tough if you come here to cause problems. So they really want everyone to know they will be strict if people are causing problems, and they really want to keep everyone safe. We're live in South Beach. Natalia Zia, CBS 4 News.
Yeah, we want everyone to have a good time, but be careful too, right?
To be busy on South Beach this
right.
weekend.
Oh, yes. Coming up, 3 new places to take your puppy for a play date. We'll tell you where in tonight's City by City report.
Also coming up, an art caper. Who stole 2 very valuable pieces of art from a South Florida art gallery? We will tell you how the thieves broke in.
Then a different way to get you to bike to work. What one company is now offering its employees to leave their cars at home.
You're watching CBS 4 News at 6, covering Golden Beach, Lauderdale Lakes, Kendall, and your South Florida neighborhood.
We'll be right back.
That's a lot of money. Is it worth it?
Are those trucks safe?
When something in South Florida just doesn't seem right, the CBS 4 I-Team is watching out for you.
Do you feel you're being treated fairly?
No, I sure don't.
Identifying problems.
I want to credit you, Al Sunshine, and CBS 4 for doing great work.
And making a difference.
The Attorney General now using my CBS 4 story to launch a federal investigation.
The CBS 4 I-Team. When we report, we get results.
See what the buzz is all about at Lauderdale BMW, South Florida's premier BMW dealer. The 2008 328i sedan. Lease starting from just $389 a month. Zero cost full maintenance, raising the bar with its exceptional design and performance. The 2008 328i sedan. Now at Lauderdale BMW with 2 locations in Fort Lauderdale and Pembroke Pines. Lauderdale BMW, the real difference.
We are so excited about this Dads and Grads deal. Hey, Dad? Guess who's getting the most HD movies? We are.
You know, you don't need a dad or grad to get this deal.
Oh. I should tell people that.
It's the Dads and Grads HD movie event. Get the most HD movies and free stars when you sign up for the Comcast Triple Play. Offer ends soon.
My name is